The Harbinger hummed with cold precision as it glided through the abyss, its sleek design a testament to humanity's ingenuity and desperation. Commander Serin, rigid in her station, stared at the holographic projection of the anomaly, a swirling weave of blue and gold light, pulsing like a heartbeat. "How long until contact?" she asked, her voice measured yet tense. 18 hours, replied Lieutenant Vega, the young astrophysicist whose calculations had brought them here. Vega's hands trembled. Whether from excitement or fear, Serin couldn't decide. The crew of the Harbinger was small but ruthless, a team chosen not for their optimism but for their resilience. Biologists, engineers, strategists, and one wildcard, a rogue historian named Elias Kane, who claimed the signal wasn't alien, but human. They thought he was mad. That sequence, Kane had argued the night before, it mirrors patterns found in ancient Earth artifacts, monuments, even DNA sequencing. Something about it feels familiar. The crew dismissed him as a relic of his field, out of touch. But Serin couldn't ignore the unease in his voice. Hours passed, and the anomaly grew larger with each second, its brilliance eclipsing the surrounding stars. At precisely the 18th hour, something happened. The ship lurched, systems flickered, and a deafening silence consumed the Harbinger. Lights died, generators stuttered. Fear swept through the crew like a cold wind. Then it appeared, an impossible structure within the anomaly. A colossal floating ring of shimmering crystal, etched with patterns that seemed alive. Serin's chest tightened. "Is this a gate?" Vega whispered, her voice trembling. As if in answer, the crystalline structure began to rotate, and the Harbinger was pulled forward, its systems powerless against the force. "Brace for impact!" Serin yelled as the ship hurtled into the unknown. When the chaos subsided, they were no longer surrounded by stars but by a sea of light, an artificial construct that mimicked a sunlit atmosphere, stretching infinitely. Beneath them lay what appeared to be a planet, lush with greens and blues. "Impossible," Vega muttered. "This shouldn't exist." They descended cautiously, landing on a platform adorned with strange glyphs that seemed to pulse beneath their feet. It was there that they met the architect, a towering humanoid entity composed of energy and light. Its form shifted constantly, as if refusing to settle on a single shape. It didn't speak, yet Serin's mind was flooded with words, images, memories that weren't hers. Humanity's history unfolded in an instant, its rise, its fall, and the short-sightedness that had doomed Earth. "You are the last," the architect conveyed. "You inherit a legacy of destruction, but here you may begin anew." Serin hesitated. "Why help us?" she asked aloud, though she knew the answer as it filled her thoughts. The architect revealed the truth. Humanity was not unique. Like many before, they were both creators and destroyers, destined to repeat cycles unless they chose to break free. The planet wasn't a planet at all. It was Eden, a biomechanical refuge designed to house civilizations willing to rebuild. But there was a cost. The architect offered humanity sanctuary, but only if they surrendered something precious: memory. Every survivor who entered Eden's gates would lose all traces of Earth, their history, their pain, their triumphs. Humanity would be free to start anew, but at the expense of knowing who they once were. The crew erupted into debate. Kane was outraged. "Our history defines us," he shouted. "Without it, we're nothing." Yet others, like Vega, argued that history had brought only ruin. "Maybe losing it is the only way forward," she said softly. Alone, Serin weighed the decision. Billions depended on her. She thought of her family, of the faces she would never see again if she refused. Ultimately, she chose to accept the sacrifice. The architect's light enveloped them, erasing Earth's story from their minds. When the survivors awoke within Eden, they remembered only fragments. A sunrise here, a melody there. But no names, no wars, no anguish. They begin again, not as humans of Earth, but as something new. Yet, deep within the ruins of the Harbinger, unnoticed by anyone, Elias Kane's journal remained, a lone testament to the world they had left behind. As the camera pans over Eden's verdant landscapes, a question lingers in the mind of the viewer. Was it salvation, or the ultimate betrayal of what it means to be human? Perhaps the weight of survival is heavier than the memory of loss. After all, who are we without our past?